What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. You know what it is. You see the star on the hat. You see the star on the back. You know it's Cowboys all day. And we're getting ready for that training camp in 3 weeks. But it's the summertime, and you know we got all them high school interviews going down, and we've been having nothing but dogs on the scene. And I got another dog right here. And he the truth. Deuce Too Lit is the nickname for him. And this is special because I actually got to see him. A lot of the guys I've interviewed, the young men I've interviewed, haven't got to see him before I interviewed him. I got to see firsthand how he does on the hoop court, but we're going to talk a little football, some of his little wrestling skills, and a whole bunch of slew other things in this interview. But without further ado, I'm going to let him introduce himself, give a quick little background, and then let's jump right into the interview, Marquis.
Yes, sir. My name is Marquis Lucas. I'm a sophomore, going to my sophomore year, class of 2026, and I transferred to Walnut Ridge.
All right. So, as I said before, I got a pleasure to see firsthand your freshman season in the basketball. Now, you are honorable mention All State?
Yes, sir.
Already killing, and this man is a monster. Please go check out the tape. But congratulations on your freshman season, which seemed like everything you touched turned to gold. Kind of recap the seasons, kind of starting with football, a little bit of basketball, and then let's talk about that wrestling, which was crazy in itself. But let's talk about the gridiron at Lyndon McKinley last year. How'd it kind of go for you?
It went okay because what my situation was, I was supposed to attend Afrocentric Early College, and stuff didn't work out with the lottery and everything. So I ended up going to Lyndon McKinley late in the season with about 4 games left. Got on the team. It was a coincidence that the starting quarterback goes down my first game, and I kind of had to just fill in and go as I went along. But it was a nice little season. We ended up going 0-4 with my record. We didn't win a game, but it was a lot of close games. But it was a lot of fun playing with the team and everything, getting to know them guys. It was a cool experience. Basketball season is where it really started for me. I had full season, the full throttle, just to go work hard. We started off a little shaky, going 0-2, losing our first city game, but as we went on, we kind of came together as a team, kind of came together as a group, as one, and just became all right. We went on to be the 10 seed in Division II, kind of had a breakout season. I averaged 15 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. I was all city, second team all city, third team all district, all honorable mention all state. We went to the first round of playoffs, matched up against the 2-seeded River Valley. We lost to them in a close battle by 7. It was a good season right there for basketball. And now wrestling, it kind of just came as it did. Late in the season, basketball was coming towards the end. We get a week off. The wrestling coach knows I wrestle, so he was like, do you want to hop in the city tournament and see what you can do? I told him I might as well see what I can do. I'll go at 215. I weigh in. First match was kind of warm up and get rolling. I got rolling, and then I head to the championship to match up against a guy that was 30-9, a senior. Took him down, and it kind of just went along, and I just kept going. I went to regionals, went to districts, and then next thing you know, I'm in the state tournament. Matched up against it's all seniors and juniors in the state tournament. I was the only freshman or sophomore in the tournament. Kind of went in with a level head. First match, got a win. Second match, lost, and then I won again, and then I lost the placement match. So I went for 8th. Got 8th in the state. Not a bad season. Late in the season, I went in like 10-2. But it was an overall fun experience at Lyndon this year. And they hung my banner, and they kind of loved me in the school. It kind of was a family, a community.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been over there for like 6 years, man, and definitely community. Shout out to Coach Darthard over there, what he's doing with that program, with the kids, the young kids. He's just building that whole team, that whole community up. Big shout outs to Lyndon McKinley out there. And just the way the season, since I got to announce the games, I just saw you just more mature as the season progressed, how you were getting more smarter in the game. Not saying you weren't, but the little freshman mistakes, sometimes freshmen may want to try to do some maybe do some things a little too much, but you just started to let the game start to come to you, and it started slowing down for you, and you could see it. But to see how you did with the wrestling, that is crazy, because that's unheard of, especially you being a true freshman coming in there doing the ranks. Now, and we're going to talk about it because you mentioned a little bit that you're transferring to Walnut Ridge. Now, we won't get crazy into it, but maybe kind of give a small little smidget of why you kind of wanted the transfer to Walnut Ridge and the next 3 years you're going to be there.
Yeah, so it kind of happened with my school changing. It became my home school when I moved. Linden was my home school, moved out east by Ridge. So I was like, why not? You got a superstar and a point guard, one of the top point guards in the state, Dominique Akins at Ridge. Kind of knew him. I knew him for a long amount of time. And then you got a powerhouse, a small forward that can kind of versatile, the 3-and-D guard and LJ. And then you got one of the top freshmen in the country coming in Dion. So it was kind of like, okay, we can go over there. We can build something, see what it is to it. And that's what kind of led me a lot more over there in the football side, going in, kind of just working, trying to work hard to stay where I was before or get even better so I can go in, even though it might be a senior there, and try to take his spot and work hard. So it was kind of like a mixed emotions with it. No disrespect to Linden. I love Linden. I love the coaching staff, especially Darther. He was like my second father. The whole make sure my grades is tight, make sure I'm getting to school on time. If I ever anything, all I had to do was call. And I always thank him for that. And just thank the Linden community for everything they've done. But it's gonna be a fun new chapter at the Ridge.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see it. And like you said, shout out to Coach Darther. Well, he's been a father to a lot of those young men out there, and I give nothing but salutes to them. And like I said, now you're over here at Walnut Ridge. They have been a powerhouse. They put out players. I got one of my kids right now, as you can see on my thing, Woods on there. He's over there at East Carolina. And he's out there from Ridge. Then you had Derek. Is it Derek? What's the last name?
I think it's
these names are just slipping my head right now, but they're going to come into my head while I'm talking, and then I'm going to be able to say why. But you got two guys. You got one guy's already in the NFL from Walnut Ridge, playing with the playing with the Washington Commanders. And then you got Wood, who's coming out, who could possibly be in the NFL as a safety. So you got guys already coming out of Walnut Ridge, going to the league. Not just them. There's been plenty of other players. And then on the basketball side, we know what they do on basketball. And they sent some guys already to some nice colleges already in a few years at Walnut Ridge. So, but let's talk about the football point, because you play quarterback there at Linden the last 4 games. Now you're coming in and you said there's a senior there. Position by choice, quarterback, is that where you're going to be at Walnut Ridge? Kind of talk about that dynamic.
Yeah, so kind of been playing quarterback a lot. Kind of became a role player over there. Yeah, my position is to be the quarterback and work no matter what. It's like I really don't like playing no other position. I will if I have to, but quarterback is where I stand the best. So kind of working to get there and be the starting quarterback going into game 1.
Okay, and I like that. So have you always played quarterback, even if you played Little League football?
Yes, sir, my whole life.
Okay, so it's just a natural thing, huh?
Yes, sir.
You say you don't know no different?
No, sir.
He said, I got it. And we could already see the leadership qualities in you, and we'd love to see that in the next 3 years. Ooh, that'd be a sight to see. You can probably be setting all kind of records there over at Ridge. We'll be excited to see that. So you're over there at Walnut Ridge. Obviously, you started getting some 7-on-7s, anything like that, camps. Now, kind of talk about it. I seen you were invited to a few. Have you attended those camps? How is camps going for you so far already?
They're going all right. I attended a lot of basketball camps. Like we went to Kent State, we went to Dayton. Ohio State is where I had my best basketball camp. I went and dropped 34 in the first game. It was a fun experience. We went to the Midwest Live where over thousands of coaches there. I got to talk to a few. It's a fun experience. So I've been attending the basketball camp. Not much on the football side, but basketball is kind of where I've taken my best at. But football, trust, believe, it will be a show this season.
Hey, I like that. I like that thinking, and I like that thought pattern. Now, here's the thing. 4-sport athlete, you do football, you do basketball, you do wrestling, you do track. Usually you hear 2 sports, maybe 3. Okay, you really doing the thing. 4 already out here. So That's a crazy feat. Have you just decided to play all those sports to kind of keep you just busy throughout the season? Kind of talk about that right quick.
I play all these sports for the love of it. I've always grown up playing multiple sports as a kid, playing multiple sports. So it kind of for the love and kind of be like, my mentality is I'm gonna be the best at whatever I do. So if I decide to go try track and do whatever, I will be the best at what I do. So that's why I kind of take it into consideration. Like, if I do get a big D1 offer in track, but I know that's not the sport I like the most. So it's kind of do it to stay in shape, do it to get ready for my main sports.
Okay. Now, what is your because I know you're a dog in basketball and you tearing it up on that wrestling circuit, and in football you looking nice on that ball. Which one is kind of that sport? I know you got 3 years, dog.
Uh,
Which one you be feeling right now?
right now, I can't really. It's a decision, but right now, my best, like where I feel more comfortable, is at basketball because I've
Uh,
had that season where everybody's noticing me now, and me in basketball, not too much in football. So in wrestling, so wrestling is good, but it's in the same season as basketball. So when it's time to decide, it's gonna be a tough decision, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough decision because I really feel like you're going to be that guy in multiple sports, really, really good. And teams are going to be like, now, let me ask you this because, this could happen. We've seen it before, and it's a rare thing. Ronald Curry did it at North Carolina. Charlie Ward did it at Florida State. If a team offered you the ability to play football and basketball at that school, would you do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, that would be something tough right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Especially being a quarterback. Now, both of those guys I just mentioned to you were quarterbacks of their respective teams. Both of those guys went into the league. Also, obviously, Charlie Ward went to the NBA and had a very good career. Ronald Curry went to the NFL as a quarterback. They transitioned into a receiver, and he actually became a very good receiver. And now he's a really good NFL coach. So that's interesting to hear. Kind of where you want to kind of do that. Now, as we kind of get ready to close in this interview, I always ask all the young men, school. Obviously, I seen your GPA 2.9. Obviously, not bad, but we definitely want to get those even higher.
Yes, sir.
But obviously, sports is a big thing in your life. Have you thought about anything outside of sports? A career
Um,
outside of that?
Actually, yes, I've decided. I kind of will try to major in sports medicine, like being like a trainer or something like that. Like just working with athletics in general. So, kind of trying to like get ready to try to major in sports medicine.
I can see that, and I can see you possibly going in coaching ranks. Like I can see you just being a guy that, if you play sports your whole career, and if you made it to the league, you retire, you're gonna do something in sports after you're done. I just feel like sports gonna be your life, so that's why I think you're gonna make it. You're gonna be a dog, so we gonna get excited about that. But
Yes.
beyond that, Marquis, I know you're self motivated. You see playing four sports, you seem self motivated. But who else out there kind of motivates Marquis Lucas when maybe he gets tired? Maybe he don't want to get up and do it. Who's out there outside force, no matter who it is, kind of motivates you to keep going?
It's my family, especially my mom and my father and my grandma. Them three is like, especially my grandma. She's always there. It's like my family's always there when I need them the most. They is my backbone. They supporting even if the game is 10 hours away. They're there. They're gonna find a way to make it happen. So it's really my family. My family is my support through everything.
Yeah, I love to hear that. That's why I kind of always ask the question because there's nothing better than a great support system. You can have your own self motivation, but when you got that support system with your mother and father and even your grandmother pushing you all the time, there's nothing better than like, especially when you say 10 hours away, they're there. It don't matter where it's at, where it is. My mom, dad is going to be there. That's a huge thing. Don't see a lot of that in right now, and so to see that right is awesome. So salutes to the mom and pops and grandma out there. They're doing a hell of a job raising you. So any shout outs you want to give it to anybody before we kind of close in here? I know you know a few people. I know you know some people out there you want to give a few shout outs to.
Yeah, I like to give a shout out to my parents. They've done everything for me. My family, my grandma, my cousins. I like to give a shout out to Lyndon for everything they've done, especially Coach Darter. Shout out to him. He's done everything for me ever since I came into the building. And I like to shout out Walnut Ridge and Coach Chuck in the basketball and Coach Daniels in the football. They kind of get me ready for what I need to do. Coach Chuck has gotten so many players to the league. Kind of they gave me a kind of comparison to Von Cameron. So that's going to be a great plan for him, and it's going to be a fun experience. And I shout out to all my friends and family that's been there, that's supporting. That's really it.
Hey, shout out to you. And you know what? Whoever gave you that comparison might be 100% on, because I see 270. Okay, shout out to my dog over there, Zach Flair. I know Zach. We actually, when I was coming out of media school, before 270 Hoops was even kind of blew up, he was just kind of putting it all together. So it's an awesome thing, number one, to see where is 270 Hoops has started to where it is out now. So shout out to what Zach has been doing and all the amazing work. But yes, I can see that comparison, because Vaughn was a beast. I actually got to call one of his games and see him up close, and he's still over there at Kent State, and he looks like he's going to turn up this next season. But especially if you grow, that's part two. For real, that's part two. And Vaughn was a dog. You see, he was player of the year. He was the man when he left out of here, and that was a nice Ridge team. I got to see that team firsthand. So great comparison, great somebody to look up to and strive for. So shout out to Zach for that great comparison, because I totally 100% agree with that. So number one, shout outs to you, Marquis, for giving me this time to be able to get this great interview. Shout outs to you, whether you're in your basketball camps, your football camps. I know you're getting ready to do football. We've seen you in your 7-on-7s, folks. Go check them out. And I tell all the athletes, continue to post videos on your Twitter, things of that nature, because what I do is I compile all those videos and then I put them in a video reel, and then I post those through Twitter and YouTube and things of that nature, and I tag all the recruiting publications. So the more video you can get of yourself and your team, the better that we can put you in the video and be able to show that and get more recruiting publications to look after you, because I know guys are already going to be looking after you, but we want to get you even more exposure. Feel me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So without further ado, for myself, Big Game James, and my dog, Marquis Lucas, Deuce 2 Lit, we'll be talking to you soon.
Yes,
We
sir.
out.